Dr. Swire.
Ah, Mr. Ken. Hi. How are you? How are you?
I'm good. I'm sorry I'm calling late, but we're here in town. We're in Chipping Camden.
Right.
We are about where the Ligon or the Ligon Arms Hotel.
On your left or your right?
It's on my left.
Right. You told me it's on your left, and I say right.
I imagine that most people come to this part of central England to stay in quaint B&Bs and to walk in Shakespeare's footsteps.
Sheep Street turning on the left.
Follow up Sheep Street until...
But I'd come here to consult my own oracle, a fellow Lockerbie relative who began searching for the truth decades before me and has never stopped. His name is Dr. Jim Swire.
Great to see you too. Upstairs there's nowhere I think you would want to film, except there is a painting of Flora, which I think you ought to see.
Swire's daughter Flora was about the same age as my brother, and she was seated right near him on Flight 103.
I went in to the studio, and he'd only got as far as painting her head, her face, and that face was just looking out at me then in the studio. It was an amazing experience, because he's captured not only what she looked like, but the kind of vivacious girl she was. I remember the hair on the back of my neck standing up the first time somebody in the media actually used the word murder. And I remember the impact of that word, the concept that my lovely daughter should have been murdered. And I remember being aimlessly numb. You know, I really couldn't concentrate on anything. My partners fortunately realized I couldn't go on working at that time.
Dr. Swire would soon give up his medical practice and begin working full-time to solve the Lockerbie case.
These are some of the devices that I made. That's a good one. That's one of the dummy bombs I made.
He began by making a mock-up of the type of bomb that many at the time believed had blown up the plane.
Jim Swire, today at Heathrow Police Station to answer questions about his dummy bomb.
He found sensational ways to dramatize weak airline security.
What he was carrying was potentially lethal.
But by the time the two Libyans were indicted for the bombing, Dr. Swire had come to mistrust almost all of the evidence in the case, and he began campaigning hard for the idea that the Libyan suspects were in fact innocent.
Some British relatives of the Lockerbie dead believe Megrahi should go free. They don't believe he was guilty in the first place.
I'm well aware that what we're doing is disturbing to those who think they've found closure through the conviction of the Libyan, Megrahi. I feel that I can't countenance my daughter's memory being associated with a complete fabrication, which unfortunately I think that the conviction of this man was. The truth is the truth, and sooner or later it'll come out. And I would like the death of my daughter to be associated with the idea of integrity in searching for the truth.
Ever since the bombing, Jim, a former doctor, has battled to find out who killed his daughter.
Now, 75-year-old Jim Swire visits the new Libya to investigate the Lockerbie bombing.
I hoped that with the loss of Gaddafi, we would get opportunities to get information that might move us further along in terms of the truth.
Jim's first task, Tripoli, tracking down Gaddafi code.
And I was delighted to find you going about your business. Where did you come from? Egypt, didn't you?
We came over from Tunisia the first time and through Malta the second.
Anyway, I've always regarded you as somebody who was open-minded enough still to be asking questions about how this whole thing was constructed.
Right here, right here. Salam alaikum.
I decided to head back one more time to Libya, this time to join up with Dr. Swire, who'd already been to the country 7 times.
So many people on that plane, and they all had families. Why is it that some people can make a kind of peace with it, and other people keep digging around?
Why do we have to do it? I don't know the answer to that. I suppose it's partly the type of people we are. In my case, I think it's a combination of scientific upbringing and the need to know those even quite tiny details borders on the obsessional. I have to check up myself on it sometimes.
Well, Do you think us driving through the streets of Libya is on the healthy side of obsession, or have we crossed a line?
I don't know how to tell the difference between determination and obsession anyway. It was a bit risky, I think, and I can't put it more succinctly than to say I think it was something we both felt we had to do.
Oh, hello, this is Jim Swire. Oh, Khaled, hello. This is my friend Ken, yeah.
Hi, a friend of Jim.
How's Bassett today?
In Syria.
Yes,
But he wants to meet you.
that'd be great.
أنا زارني دكتور سواير وقال لي بصريح العبارة بإدانتك والحق سوف يطلع يوم من الأيام.
I'm satisfied the truth has nothing to do with your father. Documents to support that accusation.
الغرب كبرني بطريقة كبيرة فأرجوكم خلوني بالله عندي أيام ولا أسابيع ولا شهور بنموت في بيتي بين أهلي.
McGrahy always said that he would prove his innocence before he died, was never able to do it. It always appeared that it was unlikely that one person could have been behind such a complex operation and that other elements of the Libyan regime were involved in ways we still don't know.
Basically, this CIA assessment tells a story. Passport number, 835004. It's the same one. So McGrahy is traveling twice before Lockerbie with the bomb expert, Masoud Abu Aguila.
That's amazing.
I brought some things I wanted to show you.
Okay.
All right. Some of these things, I dug around, and I have done everything I could to establish.
These days, Dr. Jim Swire still maintains his campaign for a new inquiry into the bombing. He still believes that much of the prosecution case against McGrahy and the Libyans doesn't hold up to scrutiny.
I want you to see the things that you might not be aware of that raise questions for me. But what I found is that
I walked Dr. Swire through the trail of papers that led me to the man I believe to be the Lockerbie bomb expert,
Abu Aguila Masoud.
And I tried to explain how this bomb expert, Abu Aguila Masoud, was tied to the man whose innocence Dr. Swire had been fighting for over the years.
So McGrahy is traveling with this person, Abu Aguila Masoud, before the bombing, and it's hard for me to imagine McGrahy himself wasn't involved. This person is a known bomb expert, traveling with McGrahy the day of Lockerbie. If this story that I'm putting together here were true, it would challenge a lot of what you have come to believe.
Don't know what to make of that.
But on the other hand, I'm not the sort of guy who wants to sit around and watch this sort of thing dismissed as not worth pursuing simply because it doesn't match what we think we know. But you've got to take it to the next step, I'm afraid.
It's been great to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Terrific.
Don't forget that the steering wheel is on that side.
Over the course of the year after this meeting, Dr. Swire continued to fight against the original verdict in the Lockerbie case. And I continued to develop evidence about the Libyan bomb expert, Abu Aguila.
Terrific, thank you.
As I gathered more information, I shared it all with Dr. Swire, and he always responded in a very thoughtful way. In the end, he allowed that Abu Aguila and others in the Gaddafi inner circle may have played a role in Lockerbie. But he remained wholly committed to one core belief, that his friend Abdel Basset al-Megrahi was innocent.